After practice, you would often spend 2 to 3 hours brainstorming with coaches or studying film. How did you find that most benefited you?
When I was a sophomore in college, getting ready to start my first college game, we were playing Georgia. Coach Bryant took myself and the other 4 quarterbacks out for a walk around the block like we did after the pregame meal each time. Now, I'm the youngest quarterback there, right? But I was starting as a sophomore, so we're starting to walk along, and Coach Bryant said, "Joe, you got the plan?" I said, "Yes, sir, I think so." He said, "You what? You think so? Son, it's time to know. The hay's in the barn. Don't give me this think so." I said, "I know, yes, sir, I know." That was the only time I ever said, "I think so," because after that, I made sure I knew what we were doing. I convinced myself I'd be ready for what that defense did and how to put our offense against it. And I got prepared because it was an awful feeling answering that question, you know, "Yes, sir, I think so." I think so? There's no room for "I think so" business. You either know or you don't. And I learned just in that little walk to make sure I convinced myself, "Yes, sir, I know."
I was talking to somebody else close to you who said they could be watching an Alabama football game with you today, and you could tell them what the Alabama defense is going to do before the play ever even happens. So why do you think you're able to read defenses so well?
Well, most of the guys that's played the game can tell in a pre-snap look or so what to expect. You might not always tell what they're going to do, but you can tell from a look what they can't do.
Don Maynard told me what he most respected about your game was appropriately your ability to anticipate where the receiver was going to be and always have the ball there. What do you think enabled you to do that so well?
Coaching, learning it, emphasizing it in practice. That's important in today's game. As good as they are, there are a lot of late passes thrown. You see, receivers open 3, 4, 5 steps waiting on the ball.
More so than when you played?
You know what it is, Graham? In practice, the quarterback can go full speed, but it's hard for the receivers to go full speed week in and week out at practice. It's hard for the running backs to really go full speed. With the adrenaline not going through your system, the urgency not there. They're running at a tempo that is like full speed, but without any urgency or tempo. They're not as fast as they are in the game. I watch the game and I see so many balls thrown by quarterbacks that are underthrown, not intentionally, but are underthrown, that I figured that's what it is. When they work and they practice and practice, they're not practicing at the same speed they're playing at in the game. And so that ball, that same throw you make in practice might be right there. But in a game, with the energy, the urgency, the adrenaline, that receiver's up there and the ball's behind him by that time. Somehow, those receivers gain a step or so in speed when they get into the live action as opposed to practice.
Which then makes it problematic for the quarterbacks since they were unable to practice at that speed.
Well, that's right. But on the other hand, you have guys like Manning and Brady that seem never, you know.
Sure, right.
Hey, if I'd have recognized that whenever I was playing, we would have tried to do more with the timing of getting the ball out there in front. But again, you can't, your receivers have taken a beating. They've been running every day, you see, and you can't get them to run full speed in practice. Might have a sprained ankle, a partial pull in the hamstring or something. So you're lucky if you can practice full speed in professional football.